So what makes a good piece of handle lumber? Well, let's go through and look at a good piece of handle lumber. Oh, that's stuck with glue. There we go. So I just cut this down, and everybody talks about how the grain has to be going from here to here. That's how the growth rings, you want them to be growing. But more importantly, you want those growth rings to be going straight up and down. And the reason why you want that is so there's no run out. So if you could see the individual lines, those are growth rings. And you want that line to go all the way from the top all the way down to the bottom. And the straighter that billet is, the straighter those growth rings run down to the bottom, the more likely chance you have to have no run out. So sure, you can have a grain like that. That's good. That's really good. This is a very wide board too, probably 4.5, 5 inches. So you could do whatever you want with this. But as you can see, this is Riven wood, and it's nearly straight on. It's a very impressive piece of lumber right here. Piece of ash just fell. This is great lumber. Now let's look at some other lumber without maybe some straight grain. Let's see what I got here. I'm trying to look through. We'll just go with this. I had to rive this apart with that piece because there was some splitting. So dimensionally, this would be the widest portion from here to here. What you really want is from here to here usually, right? But if you're making a straight handle, this is a perfect piece of lumber, right? It's straight enough. There's a little dip at the bottom, but you can work that out easy. Yeah, it has a little bit of curve to it. So this would actually be a good piece of lumber this way, and that would be the part that has the concave. You know what I mean? Because that's exactly how it's split out right there. Let's keep going. Let's look at some more. This is some that right there. That right there is some American beech. I couldn't get a great billet of that because it doesn't want to rive well. See how it's kind of like a pie? That was tough to work, but I'll be able to do something with that anyway because I have enough width. Width is what you're looking for, because if you don't have width, you can't make a curved handle, and you also can't fit it to an eye of a large large eye axe. This is a thin piece right here, but let's see how straight it is. It's got a little curve at the end. You could just knock that off. It's very tall, so that's at least 36 inches right there. Whoops, looks like the camera was a little goofy. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys some of this lumber that I did show this before, but I didn't really get in there. A lot of good lumber in here. Lot of lumber that wasn't processed. Like I got to hew some of this stuff to really know what I have. I'd be outside doing some cool stuff right now, but it's rainy. Here, let's look at this. Look at this big old piece of walnut. I noticed that walnut is not a uniform color when you cut it, and then it kind of stains all together. You see that black stain? That's what happened to the wood glue. It got dyed from whatever's in black walnut, probably tannins or something. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff here. Mostly mulberry, walnut. Here's some beech. Beech is really pretty, but not the most flexible wood I've found. Red oak. More red oak right there, and red oak. Here, let's check out the red oak. That's pretty stuff, right? More red oak. I don't know why I saved this piece. Who knows why I saved it? Maybe this will be for wedges eventually. I don't really like red oak wedges. They leave a lot to be desired, I think. Here's a beautiful piece of beech. So smaller handles like a hatchet or a house handle, They don't need to be a perfect piece of lumber. It's just not possible all the time. You got to use lumber for something, right? And when it comes to shorter handles, you'll be okay. Let's see what else we got here. Piece of mulberry. That's funky. A lot of the mulberry is very funky, but if you watch that live, piece of the tripod I'm using, if you watch that live I just did, you would see the mulberry I'm working on. That handle is very straight. Here's a piece of poplar that I'm going to use for a wedge. That's exciting. Let's look at this, okay? So this handle billet I thinned in the hopes of making it dry faster, and also to get rid of some cracking. Let's see if we can see any cracks. It looks like, is that a crack? I don't think so. Yeah, it looks okay. I have another handle billet that's real bad. Here, let's look at that one. That's about a 24 probably. Yeah, this is the handle, but I'm not going to take it off, but you can see all the knots and stuff and funk going on. That right there, I don't think that was a knot. I think that was just grain dipped in. It might have been grain changing course because of a knot. So it's like what grows around it. And then this is just a thin billet that I probably shouldn't even have tried to save. Yesterday I moved a bunch of stuff here and I saw that there was a bunch of water, and this was a big mistake. I left a bunch of long billets there. Here's some of what was there. Whoops. Big piece of look how goofy mulberry grows. It's really rare that you get a nice straight trunk of mulberry. So if you ever do get a nice straight trunk of mulberry, you should covet that. I should take that off. That's like near the heartwood. If you guys don't know, get rid of the middle of your heartwood. There's really no point to keep it. Let's look at some axes. Oh, I don't get to usually stand here. This is cool. Holtzbrook, plum, king cutter, fire axe, Rixford, 1800s, Council. Let's see if I could do this without looking at the actual branding. No name Michigan pattern. I don't know what this one is. Might be a Tassie. Let's see. Yep, Tassie. Is it a Tassie? I'm gonna have to do something dangerous here. Oh yeah, that's a high test. Okay, so that's done. Ice axe. Council tool jersey. J.K. Eldridge Rockaway pattern. I don't know if this is cool to you guys, but I'm just going to keep going. Tassie, high test Tassie, Plum Victory 3.2 double bit, Rockaway pattern on a broken handle. So the reason why I'm doing this, other than I had no idea what I'm doing and I just started doing it, I don't just do I love these things. I'm not just like a guy who puts them in the corner and it's like hoards them. If you want some of these, you can ask me about it. I might sell them, I'm not sure. This just depends on the price and what it is. But most of my stuff is going to be up for sale eventually, because I don't need to keep all this stuff. My aim is to make it better than how I got it. Here's that James P-Man, I think. Cheap Guillotines gave me that. Here's a 6-pound fire axe. Let's see, what's that? That's a 3-pound rafting pattern. Really cool. That's that Mystery Rockaway. Look how small the eye is compared to that 3-pounder. And then this is a king cutter. So I'm not going to go through all the other ones in this row, but you get it. I don't just throw these in the back of a basement and then forget about them. I love this stuff. I swing these things often. Oh yeah, this is a cool one. Look at that mulberry wedge, I believe. Yeah, mulberry gets very dark when it's exposed to UV light, and as you can see, that's a plum. Oh, you guys remember this one? All original plum double bit cruiser. I used that in the ramen video, the pumpkin spice ramen video. Here's a Collins 4-pound Michigan. Here's a really worn Tassie. I mean, you guys see what I mean? Jersey pattern, a True Temper jersey with the eye ridges. I really care about this stuff. I think I take offense when I hear people talk about guys that hoard. Not because I don't think they hoard. It's because I don't. I want to do stuff with this, with these great pieces of history and useful tools. That's, I think, what really drove me to Axis, is how useful they are. Here's something I've never showed you guys. It's Kelly Perfect. The other side is what's branded. Here's one I beat the shit out of, and then I'll go after this. Look at the wedge. So that's a red oak wedge. I left it outside. This is a Council Tool Sport Utility from 2019. This is one of my first axes. I learned how to use axes on this. 2019 is not too long ago, am I right? I mean, I'm not too experienced with this stuff. Oh, and this is the Lincoln. Beautiful Lincoln that I was given. Really awesome gift. Terrible thing that had to happen for me to get that, but it's really nice. Oh, look at that. Look at the wedge job he did. Cowboy Elvis on Instagram. Look at that wedge job. You could tell. So let's look at that's a double bit I did maybe 2-3 years ago. And this is his wedge job. Very clean, very professional looking. Smooth, and I think that's walnut. Smooth and beautiful. Yeah, it's nice. Ain't it? Anyway, this is probably the worst axe I have when it comes to condition. You see that crack there? And there's also a crack on the other side. Actually, let me show you, because that's where it's branded. You see that crack near my thumb? But it is a King Cutter, and it is a Connecticut pattern. I almost didn't buy it, but the guy gave me a deal because I told him how, you know, it's unusable. You don't want to use that. It's danger. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. That's some lumber talk and a little bit of axe show and tell. Yeah, these are my babies. I mean, I worked hard to get all these billets. And honestly, I thought I had more. But when you're new to this, you know, you have losses. You have a lot of losses. So my advice is keep things as tight as possible without molding, and so you don't have cracking. Basically, this is not the way to do it. This is just because they're already pretty much dry. Like, this is way too open. You get a lot of cracking this way. If you ever see lumber yards, they stack their boards one after the other, and they have stickers a lot thinner than this in the middle that just keeps it elevated so there can be some airflow. But I feel like there's a balance between the right amount of airflow and the wrong amount of airflow. So you can have cracking if you have too much airflow and too much evaporation too quickly. Of course, okay. So this is my thoughts. Keep your wood in a humid environment at first, and let it get some airflow in there. And then once you got, you know, maybe 6 months on around your belt, notched in your belt, that's when you can start the quicker drying. And it depends on thickness. If you ever, lumber yards air dry their stuff for a while, I think, when they're 2 inches thick or thicker, because this is all almost 2 inches thick. This is one of the thinnest ones here, and that's probably 2 inches. Here's that billet I've shown a long time ago that I thinned. That's probably dry now. I could probably use that. Oh, here it is. Here's the old bad boy. Yeah, I'm excited to work on this. It's still wet, so I don't really mind letting it sit a little longer. Mulberry. This is the one I was talking about. This dimension of mulberry is really pretty looking. Crazy. Let's see if on the front, yeah. You can see like the medullary rays. You see the horizontal lines. I think those are medullary rays. Let's see. Can we see? It's too rough. You can't really tell. Yeah, you see how I glue the end grain. Man, this is the last time I painted ends. That was probably 3 years ago, maybe 2.5, 3 years ago. I'm new to all this stuff. I'm just trial and error, really. That's how I guess a bunch of us do it. Anyway, thanks for watching this long convoluted video. Oh, wait a second. Let me show you guys this. This is cool, right? So I tried to glue it shut, but you can see it cracked anyway. But this is got a bark inclusion. If you've never seen a bark inclusion, here we go. You get 2 dimensions of it. Two-dimensional dimensions. Yeah, you can see the 2 heartwoods. So this was 2 branches connected. I don't think this was 2 stems. I think the tree was a lot bigger than this. Oh, you know what? Is that 3? Yeah, 1 here. Maybe not. This is the, you know what? This is the branch, and then this is the other branch. Yeah. But here you can see that that's where the bark is included. Cool piece of lumber. Look at this right here. I'm trying to straighten this. It's kind of a thin piece. You can see how bowed it is. So I'm laying it down like this in the hopes that it'll kind of correct. I can stand on this thing and it won't budge an inch. You know, I'm 900, 1,000 pounds. So that's impressively strong lumber right there. Anyway, thanks for watching.